Radio Zero.
It's Radio Zero with Rick and Rose, Friday, May 29th, 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Is that right?
We're live streaming on Facebook on the Radio Zero page and Poster Children page, on Twitch at PCJCUSA, and on the Poster Children YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts. Go to radiozero.us. You can patronize us at patreon.com/Radio Zero. Thanks to all of our patrons. All right.
Okay, now, like, we even did a prep thing, right? So I'm, that's the Radio Zero EP prep. Is that it? Oh, yes.
So
Okay.
you were going to talk about where you...
Yeah.
Somebody says, there you are.
Yeah. Sorry we were late, or sorry, it's my fault, because I had to go see Midwest Punk Fest. Hi, Tarzan's mom. Yeah, I had to go see Midwest Punk Fest, which was exactly 1 mile from our house, according to Apple Maps, which I think is more punk than Google Maps. No, maybe not. Neither of them are. But exactly 1 mile away from my house is Meltdown Creative Works, and they are hosting Midwest Punk Fest, which is, I think it's 3 days now. No, maybe it's just 2 days. It's 2 days of just punk rock. Oh, great. Oh, man, I made a Salaryman flannel. I don't even remember that. I'd like to see it. You should send me a picture of it. That's cool. I hope it fit. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to screening more T-shirts and stuff. Anyway, I was at Midwest Punk Fest, and I saw the kickoff of it, which was Dirty Mop Water, and I got to see them play. I haven't seen them play. So the lead singer is Sonny Garcia, and I've met him here because, like, I know, like when we first moved here, or when I first started at least going to shows here, like, which was probably not when we first moved here, but I'd always see this guy at these shows, and you'd always like have like this really good energy. You know, the people who come to shows and just have really good energy, and they're really friendly, and you see them like at all the shows, or the shows that I was at, which is not a lot of shows, but he was there. So I always, and then I finally got to meet him, and, and he may have seen us. I think he may have seen Poster Children, but I've just always followed him on Facebook, and he's always got really interesting things to post. And he's these are like some of the people who are like, always posting really helpful things on Facebook too. Like, here's where you can get the, like just really helpful political things, not just like all the dumbass political things that I post all the time. Like, fucking Trump did this, They're like, here's where the here's where the food pantry is for ISU, and here, like, just political things, and like when the next political rallies are and stuff like that. So really good. And if you're one of those types, that's good. You should be one of those types. So he started this band just like I don't even remember. I should have researched this, but it was a while ago, and I hadn't gotten to see them. And then I heard that they were opening Midwest Punk Fest. So and that was the exact same time that we do Radio Zero. So, I got to, we moved it for that. So I got to see them play. So, so the one, so they were great. It was like they had more songs than they had time for, and they started a little late because, 5:00. And Rick Sims is texting me now. See, I'm very excited because Digits is playing last tomorrow night. So, and I noticed I was just texting with Rick, and I was asking if it was okay to take your shirt off for a man, 'cause I was asking if that was punk rock. Do you think that a man should take their shirt off?
Are you talking about Rick Digit?
No, I'm just, Rick Digit. Rick Digit. Sorry,
Rick
Digit.
I didn't get a text.
Yeah, no.
Do I think?
Yeah.
Is that punk rock?
Can a person take their shirt off? Like, could I take my shirt off?
Well, you see, that's the problem. It's complicated, I think. And so, like, the Fugazi guys would take their shirts off because they were hot, right?
Yeah.
but then I think they stopped doing it.
So I'm going to have to text Ian and find out about the rules of whether
And so
or not.
that was always my problem. That was the Veruca Salt show. Right?
Did Veruca Salt take off their shirts?
So that was the thing, is there
forgot.
was, saw them at Maxwell's, weirdly. I think that was the first time I saw them.
In Hoboken.
Was in, Hoboken. And I'm, I mean, it sounds weird now, but I remember saying to our booking agent, it must have been when we were mixing, I wonder were you there? Yeah, why was I in?
Yeah.
It must have been when I was mixing RTFM.
No, I feel like I might have been there too.
But
I may
seeing
have seen
them, and I was like, oh, this is great. This is an indie rock band with women, and it's not, it's not a girl band, and I'm not saying that in a sexist way, but it was like there were problems like with what's their names? The ones from Minneapolis that were on Twin Tone.
a girl band. Oh, Babes in Toyland.
Babes in Toyland,
Yeah.
would have a problem where it was like, oh, they're a girl group, and it's like, oh, we can't put another girl group on the stage and everything like that. And it was just all about, and it was like seeing Veruca Salt, and it was like, oh, this is just a band, right? There was it wasn't
like they were a girl
I guess,
band.
yeah. And
To
then,
you.
yeah, but then it was like later seeing them at the Metro, and then they took their shirts off, and it was just like, all right, that
Wait,
happened.
Veruca Salt took their
Yeah.
shirts off?
Yeah.
Could you see their breasts?
No, they had bras on,
Oh,
but
bras.
it was
Okay.
already like
Yeah.
it was like within 6 months, I think. It was like ugh, and it was just like all right.
Okay. So and what's the context? I think Tarzan's mom is asking me like what's the like what you're on the stage, and then it's hot because it's always hot when you're on the stage. It's never cold unless you're like playing in fucking Vermont and it's snowing out, and then you have to go drive to Idaho to play with the screaming trees.
I'm cold.
But so it's always hot, so you take your shirt off. Now you theoretically you can't do that if you're a man or a woman. Sorry. So I was I texted Rick Digit to find out if that's allowed in punk rock, and he's written here. He's
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did he write? Oh God. I
Yeah, what
forgot
did he
their
write?
Names. No. I'm gonna think of it. Wendy O. Williams, the Plasmatics.
Yeah.
Did he write the Plasmatics?
No, he didn't write that. Oh, okay. All right. Listen. I also said, I said, and if I'm so thrilled you're playing a mile from here, and I'm going to bring him a red feather boa because he should have a red one for being here, near ISU where the Redbirds are. And so I've offered that to him, and he's accepting that. And I said, if there's anything you need here, because I was going to tell him maybe they need a sound person. But they won't need a sound person because their bass amp will be loud enough. But he said, we need your entire back line. And then he wrote, just kidding. And I wrote, I have an 810 bass cab, but there's no way to transport it. So this is what he wrote now. So what do you think he wrote about shirts?
I don't know.
Shirts off is mandatory. And then number 2, a real rock and roller would drag the bass cab a mile down the middle of the road. Thankfully, we won't need it, though. And then he's excited. He's very happy to see us. It's going to be great to see y'all.
So they need to borrow
No,
gear?
they were kidding.
Oh, he's kidding. Okay.
Yeah. When this band first started, Dirty Mopwater, I couldn't hear the bass, and it's a girl bass player.
So it was full band, not just
solo. Oh yeah, girl bass player and a drummer. The drummer was not a girl. I think the drummer had a beard. I was trying to remember.
All very important.
Yeah. And then Sonny did take his shirt off. I thought it was. I was trying to decide is that okay, but I think it. Yeah, for sure it is, because I remembered Fugazi taking their shirts off, and he did say it was hot, so he took his shirt off. But the girl didn't take her shirt off, and I was sad for her that she wasn't going to be able to do that if she wanted to, because you couldn't. And the thing about Midwest Punk Fest, also at Meltdown Creative Works, this is like supposed to be like a family event, and there are little kids running around, and there are old people running around. Like the last time what did we see there before?
We saw Terminus Victor with other bands.
Oh yeah, and it's just really there's like moms and dads running around, and like grandmas, and people like me. Like I'm a grandma. I'm already grandma aged,
What?
right? Yeah, and
You're not a grandma.
right. I'm not
Can't
a grandma.
say that.
I'm not a grandma,
if you're
but
not.
yeah, but like people aged like me and just little kids and teenagers all over the place, and the teens are all dressed nice, and it's just wonderful. It's very Bloomington normal. But the thing is, now, do you remember when we had Ian Mackay here talking even before that, when I had Steve Albini here, right? It was Steve Albini at the University Galleries. The place was full of like parents wearing black, like punk rock parents.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, these are old people.
But I mean, I don't remember seeing punk rock parents in Deerfield, fucking Illinois.
You mean like what, like 30, 40 years ago?
Yes.
Well, you do understand that. You're talking about Gen X musicians.
Yeah,
you're talking about musicians that are your age and older. And so people who are, well, I guess not necessarily at Punk Fest.
I'm saying that this is a punk rock town.
Interesting.
Or either that, or it also draws from, like, people from Peoria will come here. And then there was a dude, oh man, I forgot his name, but there's like a vendor area too. Meltdown Creative Works is really nice.
Smoking Popes are also playing.
Oh yeah. So Smoking Popes are playing at like 9:30, and then Digits are playing at 10:30 or something like that. We better get it right and make sure we see them. Make sure we don't come late. But it's so exciting. There are just people milling around the parking lot, and like the parking lot, the place is on Constitution Trail, which is on a bike path. It'd be really cool if they were playing at the whatever that thing is, the Connie Link Amphitheater. Like
outside?
Yeah, it'd be cool if they were playing. I just don't understand how we're going to be watching them in a tiny box like that. It's kind of a small club.
Horace Pinker is also playing. They're somewhat known. Yes.
All right, cool. Anyway, why can't women, even if they have a sports bra type thing on, just in case?
Sports bra.
Just in case somebody walks in, I can't see the bottom of what this says, but well, no, that's the thing, is like it's a different thing for women to take their shirts off, right?
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm not.
What about,
this
what
is
do you
not
think?
on the. What do I think? I'd take my shirt off and have my boobs out. I'd totally do that, but I think it would upset people, especially because one of them's got like a giant scar in it. But I mean, even if I didn't have a scar, I'd still take. Yeah, I don't care. Right? If I was a man, I could take my shirt off and nobody would think anything, right? So what's the difference? One boob had milk in it and people could suck on it, and then the other boobs didn't. Otherwise, what's the difference? Some of the boobs are bigger? Not really. Not necessarily. What do you think? Should a lady be allowed to take have her boobs showing, walking around?
Like walk down the street free of suggestion?
Yeah. This is not on the. You think about it. You don't have to answer it.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't understand why I have to answer it. It's
You
like
don't have to answer it. Okay.
I mean, I think culturally, it's there's an issue, but yeah, I mean, like someone said, the sports bra, yeah, whatever. I mean,
well, men.
For me, the problem was when that happened with Veruca Salt. I felt like it was not empowerment. I mean, I guess it's all that kind of, like strippers are empowered kind of.
Yeah,
bullshit.
we've already talked about this on Radio Zero too.
And
but
I felt
empowerment,
like that. It felt like that. It didn't feel like it was an empowering moment. It felt like it was exhibitionism or feeding into the male gaze.
Is empowerment in the eye of the beholder, though?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. And so, I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then you could say if empowerment's in the eye of the beholder, then that means like someone who doesn't feel empowered, their disenfranchisement or whatever is not valid because the observer doesn't feel that. Empowerment is in the eyes of the What?
Empowerer.
The powers. Yeah, the powers that
okay.
be.
Yeah,
The overlords.
Yeah. All right, Chad Twiner likes my glasses and says a scarred boob is punk as fuck. And then Dannon says Horace Pinker formed here in Tempe, Arizona. I haven't heard them mentioned in years. So wait, Horace Pinker is playing also?
Yeah.
Is that tomorrow or tonight?
I think tomorrow, but I don't.
All right. Well, I'll look it
Why
up.
don't you have the schedule?
I have it on my phone, and I'm not looking at my phone. All right, let's start going down. We have a list. We have a list. We actually prepared for this. This is good. So the first thing on the list is it says Hum shows. So Hum is playing. Hum according to Rick Digit, actually is as big as Journey now, and he was asking when did Hum become as big as Journey. So Hum is playing these giant theaters, and I remember when they weren't. So I was thinking, what did I write? I wrote like a beautiful thing about them. What did I write? And I was thinking about, I'll read it. Many years ago, my now husband, that's you, Rick Valentin, said to me, "Our band is now signed, and we have a way to put out our records. Now we need to help others in the Champaign scene. We need to start a record label." Do you remember saying that to me?
No, that seems very...
Okay. He wanted to call it 10-inch records, but since you could fit more on a 12-inch, it had to be 12-inch records.
Well, yeah, I wanted to put out 10-inch records. I really liked 10-inch records.
But why did we end up having 12-inch?
But I think it was because we didn't do vinyl, and we put out a full-length CD and cassette. I don't think we put out... Yeah, we didn't put out the first Hum record wasn't on vinyl.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we were making 7-inch records, remember?
Yeah.
The first
in
things
fact,
that we made
true.
were the vinyls,
That's true.
right?
The earliest 12-inch records were 7 inches. That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about that.
The first band we needed to put out was our roommate Andy's band Hum. There were so many fantastic bands in the scene, so we would do a series of 7 inches. And when we went on tour, if we could, we needed to bring these bands with us. That was the way. It was right after we had seen The Mandalorian, so I was all that was the way, right? So this was what you said to me. So, and then I wrote, like, at a time when there is a UFC boxing match being arranged on the front lawn of the White House, it's almost a dream to find out that the nicest, most humble, down-to-earth guys are playing, selling out giant venues to crowds of thousands, gathering all ages of listeners. The Champaign scene was one of community, love, and respect, and I'm so happy to see it once again touching people's lives. So isn't that nice? Like, you see all that, like, I'm just seeing pictures, and they're traveling around now, and I'm reading the tour reports, because there's Hum tour reports too, from like either Ward or I can't remember who's Chris Green, one of those guys, or both. And I think I saw pictures of them like outside Flagstaff and stuff like that, but that was born from Champaign. That was born from our scene, and we put out their first 2 records, and like, I don't know, I can't think of anything. It's really cool, right?
Yeah.
Like, we helped with that a little bit. We had a little bit to do with that. So, do you have anything to say about that?
I feel weird about commenting about shows that I haven't seen.
Well, you can see them, and I've watched like videos and stuff, on Facebook and everything like that. So. But okay, that you don't have to comment on it. Do you have any comments on 12-inch records? That's the next bullet point here.
No. No. Yeah. I mean, yeah. We put out those 2 records. It was cool.
Well, what were the 7 inches? Do you remember? That was the first thing we did, and you designed them, and they had to be on, like, you designed the covers too. Why on earth? Because I gotta say.
No. So we did the Hum record first, and then we did the 7 inches.
Okay, Filet Show.
Yeah, the Hum record.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one.
Okay.
And then we did a Love Cup 7-inch, a Hum 7-inch, Dis, band from Milwaukee, and Steak Daddy 6, 7 inches.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna.
And then we put out, we put out another Hum record. We put out the Dis record. Actually, we put out 2 Dis records and 2 Steak Daddy 6 records.
Right. So I got Chad Twiner says Wendy O plus electrical tape, And then April says they just banned affirming care for trans folks here in Oklahoma, so the hospital I use will no longer do mammograms for us. If they are going to treat us like dudes, I guess we can go without a shirt. Yeah, that sounds good. Man, that sounds. Oh God, that's sad. What can I do, like, I was just straight out of. I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about Deerfield and the North Shore, but that's where I came out of. And, you're from the Western Springs area. And so we're in, Cody took his boys to see Hum in New York, and it was fucking amazing. Good. Yeah. Let's have some reports of the Hum shows, 'cause we didn't get to see it. But you were like, let's make a record label. And it never, I knew that making a record label was not going to be something that would make us money. I knew that we were going to put money into that to help other people, and that's all that would happen. Like, that would just be, Swirlies and Chapter House. Yeah. Gordon. Gordon is in here too. Thanks for that, by the way, the 2 records, Gordon's featured on one of the records too, right? Like, his picture.
Steak Daddy records.
Yeah, but his picture isn't he? Doesn't he have like tinfoil or something? Doesn't he have tinfoil on his teeth with a gun? And he had to be the person because he doesn't have fillings or something like that.
Is that why? Yeah, because that's all I think about when I see that is the aluminum foil on the teeth.
Yeah.
The electrical current.
Yeah. All right. Well, so why, making a record label is kind of, I'm going to spend money to help other people, and records are going to be made. That's it.
Yeah, it's just what you did. That was part of, what you did in the indie scene.
What was the first?
The 1980s.
Yeah. So what did you learn that from?
What did I learn it from?
Who did that before you?
I've told this story before.
Yeah.
And this is earlier. Like, I didn't realize, but I went to, my family went to Minneapolis in 1981. We went to the Walker Art Center. Simon and Garfunkel were playing in the stadium.
You just lost me. So not punk.
So it was the Simon and Garfunkel reunion. I remember we were going to the Walker, and you could hear the concert. Was the stadium near the Walker? I don't know. This is my memory of it. And we went into the Walker Museum, and there was a display in the gift shop of records. And they were bands I'd never heard of. It was, Curtis A. Who else was on, like, Twin Tone? It was a bunch of Twin Tone records.
Oh, wow.
Like early Twin Tone records.
Wow.
81 would... I don't even think had Hootenanny come out. I don't think any of the replacements. Maybe the replacement Stink was up there. I don't know. But it was like, I remember seeing records at the Walker that were not, major label records. It was like, and it said something. I think it had a sign on or something like local Minneapolis bands or something, right? And so that was, I think, the first inkling I had of alternative music. But then, I don't think I bought, I think it wasn't until, 83, 84 when, like, the SST stuff. So, like, that year, that year or two where you had, double nickels on the dime and Zen Arcade and New Day Rising. Like, Zen Arcade and New Day Rising. Well, that was 86, right?
They were
or
putting
85.
records out like
85,
two records out a year.
Yeah, it was like 84, 85. Like, that
they were on
summer.
speed.
It's like finding, the Meat Puppets, hearing the Meat Puppets, like going to see shows at, where would it have been? Boy, I can't even remember. Like, it was even stuff like Depeche Mode or something in the Psychedelic Furs, but like listening to, what was the NUR, like on the way home and hearing the Meat Puppets, and it was like, I got to find out what that is. And then it was that, all of that, and buying those records. But that was the first awareness, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, like, and then I remember you telling me, like, well, we're this band now, and what we're going to do is, our dream is maybe we'll put out a record, but we need to record it first. We're going to record it first, and then maybe we'll find somebody who will put it out. It's better if we pay for the recording. So we did, right?
And so the other thing is I remember going to U of I and going to, it actually wasn't Record Swap, it was Record Service.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was a regular at Record Swap, which had all the indie stuff, but like going to Record Service and seeing it was Battle of the Garages 2. So I had bought Battle of the Garages 2, and there was a band called The Outnumbered on it. It was a compilation album of like garage bands.
Yeah.
And then it was like I got to Champaign and I was at Record Service. No, I think I bought that record at Record Service. I think it had Boy on a Roof on it. And then there was also singles. There's the One Possession single by Last Gentleman. It was like buying that. And that song, like I was, still into kind of like new wave stuff. And it was like, wow, this is a great song that's as good as, Depeche Mode or whatever.
Okay, so Last Gentleman
and then finding
from
out it was,
Champaign.
It had been put out locally. So that was when and then the fact that The Outnumbered, then they didn't open for the Minutemen. The Breeders, the
Champaign Breeders.
Champaign Breeders.
Yeah.
They had a single on the jukebox at Trinos. And then, seeing them with the Minutemen, and then finding out that The Outnumbered were going to have a record out on Homestead. So it was like, you had Homestead had like the Big Black stuff. So I'd heard Big Black because I talked about that, like going to Wax Tracks, and there was a section of drum machine guitar bands.
Oh, right.
And most of them were English. It was like Sisters of Mercy and Red Lorry, Yellow Lorry, and then Big Black's in there with them. It kind of makes, and like Head of David, like later Steve, I think, recorded, right? Head of David. And so it was like I had heard Big Black, and I had the Red Lorry, Yellow Lorry stuff and Sisters of Mercy. And then where am I going? Oh, so the Big Black stuff was on Homestead. What else was on Homestead? What would it be? Some of the early stuff.
Jingly shit.
Yeah. But I mean, I know I bought Bad Moon Rising at Record Swap, so that would have already been whenever that was, late '84, early '85. So it was like I was aware of Homestead, and then the fact that The Outnumbered were on Homestead, that was like, oh wow, local band.
It was on Homestead, right? Yeah. Cody sang a whole bunch of stuff here. Something about finding Poster Children on CMJ, and then that leading him to Parasol, and then Ironclad Lou was on something. Now I missed what you said.
Oh, somebody said I had a bunch of LPs that were WPGU discards and have John Giannoli's handwritten notes on them. So that was the thing too. Is like John Giannoli was the WPGU guy. It's from the Outnumbered later Pansy division, but I think by the time WPGU had already changed, and I don't think John was still DJing on WPGU by the time I got to Champaign.
They were so great though, The Outnumbered.
Yeah.
Also, everybody was really just nice. This is what I was thinking about. Like I think I probably wrote about this in my book, but just like thinking about walking down that street with the dorms on it, with Rick Digit like singing, like it was after the Digits probably maybe they played Band Fest right on the Quad, or Quad Fest, whatever it was called, and we were walking with them. We were walking to Rock City, right? And that was the night that somebody threw a car door out the window or something like that. Rock City was where the cool people lived.
Yeah. Was that might have been two different.
It might have been two different
days.
things, but I felt like I've just hanging out. I wrote about this. Yeah. Like just hanging out outside when it was warm and just talking to people. And then there was bands playing, and I was like that's what I'm looking forward to tomorrow and tonight too. Just like people are just hanging out outside, talking about stuff. And it's like, what, I'm trying to think of what else to like. All right, this is completely beside the point, but I'm looking at open education resources right now, right? Because I took a class, a workshop in that. So ISU here is offering workshops over the summer. This is the Summer Institute on how to teach better, right? How to gladly we learn and teach better, or gladly we learn to teach better.
Why
I'm just
don't
making
you
that up.
explain what
Yeah, open education resources, or open
source
textbooks, right? So open source textbooks, and yeah, this is not going to make any sense at all. And I hopefully I was going to talk about this later, but I was reading. I'm looking over a new music textbook, new music business textbook, because will be free for my students instead of them having to pay $150 or however much the textbook is that we've been using. And I was like thinking, but how do I know the writer? How do I know this guy? Like, how do I know if he's like, maybe he's a crackpot and somewhere in this book, and so I'm having to read it all, of course, to review it, but maybe he's an asshole, right? Maybe he doesn't have the same like thoughts about stuff as I do. And then I realized, oh wait, if he's got his book on open source reading list, chances are, he's a good guy, right?
Yeah.
And I went stalking him on Facebook, and I saw something from like 2020 or something like. But that's what I'm saying, is that like you kind of know that all the people who are standing out in the parking lot who are watching a Digits show or watching a punk rock show or watching a show like a independent rock show are probably of like-minded kin or something like that, I guess.
Yeah.
So Tarzan's mom has been writing all kinds of stuff too. I can't see what these people are writing. I'm gonna have to figure out.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get to
or
read
maybe
the stuff.
I should give you I don't know. You need to log in to see the full chat stream.
Yeah. So why don't you read what people are saying?
Yeah, some of them remember Speedboat, Motor Oil in St. Paul, Punk Rock Coffee Shop, Art Gallery. No,
Oh,
I do
yeah.
not.
Yeah. No.
And then when did PC start playing out? It was 87, I
Yeah.
think. 80,
Same.
88, I guess, out.
Oh, in 1987 though, we probably played in the dorms, right?
Yeah.
I like to say, we formed the band in 1987, same year as Fugazi.
Labor Day weekend, yeah.
Ooh, okay. That's good. Okay, and also Tarzan's mom also said that they worked at the Walker. I saw that a little earlier. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's cool. Okay, so are we done discussing? Let me see what this was. 12-inch records. 12-inch records. But I mean, I'm just so, we already were signed, like Limited Potential already, like Mike Potential already was putting out our stuff. So you were like, let's put out other people's stuff. We don't have to put our stuff out now. So now it's our turn to put out other stuff. I thought that was really nice.
Yeah. I don't know if that was the motivation. I guess.
Yeah, we were taken care of. You were like, well, we were taken care of now.
I don't know
so
I don't know how taken care of we were. I mean, it was like, but I guess.
They put out our records. All right. Okay, let's move on. So I have written down here, teaching AI, and then in parentheses, will not be resolved today.
Really? I was hoping you'd be able to solve this problem.
No, okay.
I was expecting you, Rose. The expectation was that you would solve this problem by today. That was the deadline.
Our leader, our director, asked me if I wanted to teach the AI and making class, or making with AI. So there's an AI minor at ISU. Like there's a bunch of people that got together from all over the campus, and I was one of them to try to get a minor going in AI, because I don't know if you heard, but that's. Yeah, sweaty punk rock shows in the basement, cooling off outside between bands. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Although I'm talking about AI now, so we'll move on. Where was I?
You should continue on your things, and then if you see a comment, store it.
Okay.
Instead of jumping, you kind of these large leaps.
Anyway, it's this AI minor.
Just for your brain's sake, where you're in the middle of talking about something,
right,
and then
right,
you go off and you
AI
respond,
minor.
Squirrel.
Right. So there's this AI minor. Like we used to have an E minor. It was an entrepreneurship minor, and that was really funny because like it sounds like a key that you'd play music in. But this is the AI minor, and so I was kind of the representative for the Woonsocket College of Fine Arts, and so we were making an AI. We every college or units at least needed to put forth a class that people could take in order to fulfill this AI minor. So ours was going to be some kind of fine arts AI class. And then just luckily the other people in our unit were already creating this AI and making class. So that was really, really, I think I was talking to one of our coworkers and they were like, oh, well, we've got this class on the books already. And I was like, holy shit, that's fantastic. And I wasn't director anymore, so I wasn't in charge of this stuff anymore. So now it sounds like they would like to teach this class. They would like somebody to teach this class. And so I'm not really sure what's in it yet, but like are you getting your AA in AI, right? So I was like, wow, it sounds like the scariest thing. It sounds like I could be assassinated for teaching that class, right? Like our students fucking hate AI, right? That's going to take their jobs. Everybody fucking hates it. It's not like 50% of the people hate it either. It's like it's like 95% of the students hate it. So do I want to teach it? I was like, wow, I might be killed. And then I was like, whenever I have this like, ooh, it sounds like a terrible thing, then I'm like, I should totally do it then, So I was like, it sounds horrible. I think I better do it. So I was fighting with our 12-year-old. No, he's not 12 anymore. He's 17. But it was kind of like a 12-year-old argument.
Nice to know.
Hopefully he won't.
I'll have to let him know what age.
Yeah.
What age
so
you have him sort of permanently locked into.
I'm trying to figure out like would you say yes to teaching an AI class or would you say no if you were asked?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't feel like I'm using AI.
To create? I'm not either. Of course I'm not. I would never do that.
I liked the old days. I'm nostalgic for 4 or 5 years ago where you like the AI would make all this mutant stuff. That's what I like, and it's already past that. I don't know. I mean,
you mean like 3 years ago?
I guess like although we've had discussions with a coworker, another professor, about how some people are like musicians are using like sort of like sample based or electronic based musicians are using AI. Although he did say they're no longer telling people that they're doing this, but they would pool their kind of music into a database or the source for the AI and then start feeding it prompts, right? So it wasn't, the AI is not generating off of the whole planet's stolen intellectual property. It's generating off of the artist's pool of work, right?
So it's it's generative AI, but it's generating from your stuff.
Yeah, you're kind of building your database. Yeah,
it's like you're automating your own creativity.
Yeah. Well, but
I still don't see. I don't see how it's different.
It is different because it's not working off of everything.
Okay.
Right. It's working off of your stuff you've created.
But anything that's been in your brain before, I can argue any side of this. You heard The Outnumbered. You heard Public Image, and I'm just trying to think of. You heard all that stuff, so it is in your brain. And so if you let a machine get a hold of those fragments of the things, then you are letting a machine, use. You're just like a cyborg. I need to read that cyborg thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with it, but it's an interesting idea where it's kind of like you're using the AI to generate ideas based on your own work, right?
But and again, where do you draw the line? Your own work is influenced by everybody else you've heard already.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that about everything,
mm-hmm.
right?
I will. Yeah.
I mean, it goes back to when we had a member of the band who was listening to a single tone to kind of clear out their history of listening to music, and to me, all that would do is it would kind of stop you, and so you would no longer move on. You stopped listening to other music, and then you just have your database is kind of locked in 1987
From
or
when
whatever.
you started listening to that
to
tone.
the single tone.
Yeah.
and you can't reboot, right? You just kind of get halted. So yeah, I mean that's the question of, inspiration and copying, and so that's a gray area, I guess. And so, but yeah, if yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily see it as a problem if you're restricting your database, right, your source, to just your own work. How that's not the same. That to me is different than having the whole expanse of human knowledge that's being used as a source to generate stuff.
It's a smaller pool. Tarzan's mom says everyone with hesitations needs to be on the steering committee for this train. Yeah, that was another reason why I was thinking, like, I was like, well, I don't believe in it. I wouldn't use it to create artwork. I wouldn't use it. So it might be a good idea for me to teach it, like,
And it's just like in the past week, like my Facebook feed is now starting to fill up with like AI, I'm seeing more and more like YouTube, like ads. There's one with like, it's what is it talking about? It's not an air conditioner or something. It's like some kind of tool, like home repair tool or something, but it looks like a real person talking about it and everything like that. But then you like my spidey sense starts tingling, the uncanny valley, where it's like,
valley.
oh yeah, where they're doing all the things where the person talks to the camera and then they go and they point at something, and it's all very, very constructed. And seeing all of that, it's upsetting. Yeah, to me. And I guess maybe it's just uncanny valley stuff where it's just like, ugh. This is not human content. It's generated content. And then even that preview for that movie, the Korean movie, I can't even remember. Oh, Hope. I think it's called Hope. And the busboy had shared the preview or whatever for that movie, and then we saw it in the theater, and I was like, how much of this is like the shots and everything like that? And so obviously there are some computer effects, right, where it's like a car tumbling, but then even just kind of like the movements where it seems more generative than just simply computer kind of computer animated or added. And so it's like starting to see all that where it's like, or starting to question. I mean, it's kind of upsetting for me, but again, I think it's it might just, so at some point that uncanny valley where it's like, ooh, this isn't like I'm just tuned and I'm still sensing generated content, but at some point the resolution is gonna get so good, and by resolution I don't mean just like literal, I mean where it's like, oh, okay, I can't tell if they generated this this building and this background, or if it's somebody actually designed it on a computer, or it's an actual set, right? So
Tarzan's mom says, I'm in Silicon Valley now and work in tech. My life is over.
Yeah, that's, I mean, yeah. Well, and the question is well, yeah, maybe tech is over, but then like, are we going to move on to other things?
Yeah, like this is what. So my first argument to the child in the car was that was it like, oh, this is going to take all our jobs, and I was like, that is what the painter said the first time that he saw the camera, right? The camera, you can just press a button, and now we don't need to hire a portrait painter anymore to take a picture of our family. We just get the camera and we press the button, and people are still painters, but yeah, we don't need as many, I guess, right?
And it made me realize, I can't remember who I was listening to or what interview I was listening to, who were talking about the people who are running the AI companies and how they seem kind of like clueless about how the fact that they're destroying reality or removing it, and it's like I don't think they're clueless. I think it's just a or why are they doing it? And it's, to me, I've realized it's just an expansion of the digitization of our world, right?
Right. Yeah, that's
And
how I
so,
feel too.
Yeah, it's
With better search algorithms.
yeah, and so and the goal is, it's the transhumanist kind of thing where it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna be downloaded, you're gonna be uploaded or whatever, or you don't exist, in the physical realm anymore, right? It's all of that kind of moving towards that, and so the question is kind of like, well, is everybody just gonna move into fully digital in their whole existence? I mean, there's still the physical world and our physical bodies. And so maybe, I don't know, at least some of the world will still remain in the physical.
I'm
And
sure
so
it will.
it'll just, and then the question is like, oh yeah, well, what they'll go away? Is it going to be what are the names of the two sort of species that are in the time machine, right? The Eloi and what's Eloi? I know because it's in crossword puzzles. What's the slugs, the stugs, the underground dwellers, right? And it's like, oh, you realize at some point that they're both. It's just the human race is split off into these two, kind of pathways, and it's like, oh yeah, the digital people are going to be in a completely different realm, and then going to be the people who live in the physical realm.
Okay, you know what? You know what this makes me think of? You know what this makes me think about? Like,
the Matrix.
No, drugs.
Drugs.
Right? Like, so some people choose to be like, why would you not choose to just be on drugs all the time? Like on mushrooms or drinking alcohol or whatever. And you're not always like that because sometimes, I don't know, you have to work or your mind can't be altered or something like that. Or you can't be feeling happy all the time or something like that. So I feel like that's akin to either I'm going to have party time now. I'm going to be digital. I'm only going to exist. I'm going to be either high or I'm going to be in the digital realm or something like that. Or I'm going to have real feelings in my body. I'm going to be in the physical world and I'm not going to be on drugs. Eloi and Morlocks,
yes.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
The time machine. Talking about the time machine, man. You go into the future, they're the Elois and the Morlocks.
Okay. So, what do you think about that?
It makes me think about now I lost it. Crap.
Sorry.
Damn it. Oh, brains and vats. Like, oh yeah, this could all be, we could all be in a simulation, and it's like, oh yeah, that's the appeal of that. Again, it's that idea that, reality in the physical world is not real and our existence is all in our heads, right? It's in our brain. It's coming, like everything's, sort of virtual. Our whole experience is virtual.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, there is a physical world. And so the question is why? Yeah, I'm starting to get super. I'm going to go full neo-Luddite, right? It's just like, and I'm, and it's even going back. There's somebody who's built this DAW, digital audio workstation, that's basically a tape machine. Like it only operates as a tape machine, where it's like, oh, you hit record and it overwrites the the previous track, and you can't look at the waveforms or anything like that. And it's like, oh yeah, that was a beautiful, the analog world and creating music that way, or working on stuff where you had that space in your head, like where you were creating. But that's also a virtual environment, like music is a virtual space too.
Yeah. I don't see. All right, so I think that this is just I'm sorry. It's once again technology disrupting our lives, and it's done it before, and we're going to be modified because of it. Like things are going to be different. This one's a big one. This one's a big one, just like the internet.
So there's the more sort of larger kind of discussion, I guess, is where it's like, a lot of this, if you think about it, might just be startup bullshit, vaporware hype, right? So where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to have, we're going to create this intelligence, going to change the world, everything like that, in order to kind of they're hyping their product, right? Just in the same way that Elon Musk is always, is hyping autopilot, right?
Right.
And so it's like, oh, electric cars, right? That was, and so the thing is electric cars became a reality, but no, electric cars were a reality, 120 years ago, and so, but it's like the hyping of like, oh, we're going to be able to do this, and it's in order to kind of sell or hype a product.
Yeah,
right?
to get more money from angel
starting
investors.
to listen to all those people,
Yeah.
right, who are hype, including Elon Musk, right, who are hyping.
Mm-hmm.
If you start listening to them as if they're hyping a product, right, and they're kind of saying all this stuff,
And you can be skeptical.
and saying, "Ooh, we're not going to allow anyone. We're only going to allow specific governments access to this new model, right? Right, where you go like, oh yeah, that's really they've built something so powerful that it's equivalent to an atomic bomb, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's equivalent to the atomic
Right.
bomb, but
it's not.
there's also that whole marketing thing where it's like, oh, you make something, you say it's special and exclusive.
Right,
Or it's
exactly.
like,
Yeah.
You can't,
Okay.
you can't afford this, or you can't have this, right?
So,
yeah.
here's the elephant that came before this elephant in the room. Here's the elephant in the room for me. Okay? I'll use it with the graphic design example, okay? All right. So, 4 years of graphic design 1, 2, 3, and 4. I took 2 years. I took 2 classes of graphic design, right? I took graphic design 1 and 2, like the easy ones, because narrative media, we didn't have to have that much because we weren't only doing graphic design, right? I learned how to place type. I learned all this, all the rules of graphic design. I can go on. There's a number of template programs. Adobe even has one. I think Adobe Express. I think I can go on and I can just click and change. I can click and change the words so I can make the poster that I need to make. And there are thousands of templates that I can change, right? And then I can, with the click of the button, I can change the font and I can change everything. And there's, without even AI, okay, without AI, I don't need to know how to do graphic design. I don't need to create my own stuff anymore. And I also don't need to learn HTML anymore, like, because I can use Wix.
So here's the thing.
Yeah, let's have the thing.
So the origins of graphic design. Oh, I've got this great thick book on that, but it goes back much farther than. But let's just talk about it. What are the origins of graphic design? Right, it was a commercial, right? It was in order to sell, right? And you could say, oh no, signage, right, to point people. And yes, it's a communication. It's a form of communication.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And so I do believe I appreciate graphic design as an art form, and I
do
felt
too.
like I'm creating when I'm working with it. But you also have to acknowledge that its origins are in commercialism and selling, right? And so the question is, and then you could say, oh well, that's how it evolved. Like there's, but then you think about like the earliest forms of graphic design, right? Of design, coins, right? And so it's like I was reading the history of money, right? And one of these history of money books, and it was just like, oh yeah, it's like, and obviously it's somebody who's biased or sort of like viewing everything through money, but it's like, oh yeah, civilization, it's all based on exchange and commerce. Like, so technology, that was a technology.
Right.
It was one of the earliest sort of technologies after, like agriculture, but it's like, oh, you had agriculture, right? That technology.
Yeah.
And then like all of the early financial systems are all, agriculture based, grains, right? like the even the terminology for coins and money is connected to grain.
I know. I mean, are you
right?
saying that we don't have to worry that AI is going to take away graphic designers' jobs because it was all about money and it was all commercialism in the first place?
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess I'm thinking a lot. I'm also reading this Lou Reed biography, and then all the Andy Warhol stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, Andy Warhol, it's like he's commercial artist, visual artist, and it's like, oh, you've got the Blue Note record covers or the shoe advertisements, and then you've got the soup cans, right? So you've got the commercial art and you've got the fine art, right?
Soup can came up in the car too in the argument,
and so it's like, this is, I guess, and so the creative process. Yeah, and then all the stuff you said about sort of music, you were saying it's like just the community, and you go and you play and things like that, and it's like yeah, I guess that's true, and so it's like that's a beautiful thing, but it's not a job. I mean, I guess it can be a living, and it's a creative thing, and then at some point people were selling their creative talents, right? And so I guess the question is that over, or is it just going to evolve? And so then the question is, it goes back to the digital and the physical, right? So I think it's just going to loop around. I mean, and it's already starting to loop, where it's like, people want a more honest, realistic,
right? I agree with that too. I agree with it too.
Physical experience.
Yeah.
They want to see.
The people
they want to see the human hand in it. They want to see the imperfection, or they don't want to see a generated. They want to experience it directly. So what does that mean for a graphic designer? I don't know what that means for a graphic designer. I mean, I'm always in the back of my mind, it's like, I want to learn how to do sign painting again. It's like, even like to the point where it's like, you could do these, sign up for these courses and everything like that to learn that and that's like, that's a beautiful thing. And it's like, my desire for that is also based on, I want the, the imperfections, but obviously AI can generate all
right,
those
let me ask you this.
imperfections.
Let me ask you this. Then as long as we are talking about graphic design, so now I want to call it A24, but it's not A24. That's a film house. What was the ray gun? What was that all like the glitch typography? Like when ray gun came out, what were
David Carson.
David Carson, thank you.
Grunge design.
Yeah, grunge design, right? So David Carson. So, that was like real. That was like obscuring the communication, right?
But that, I mean, I think that was also using the technology and sort of undermining it. I mean, and so thinking about Emigre, the design, the font company, and then kind of expanding out, and then also Designers Republic, right? It's like that was all kind of stuff that was using the tools and the technology. Right.
So
and misusing it, or not using, or trying to explore different. And so that's the argument that you can make. It's like, this is just going to be the next phase where you're using AI in order to explore creatively. Like, how do you undermine it? Like, once we get past the copying phase, right? So I guess so if you think about graphic design, it was like, we're just like, all you're doing on the computer is trying to emulate or improve on type layout.
You're doing the soup can.
You don't
right
have
now.
to use the Zipatone anymore
Right.
to rub on letters to make your posters. Now you can use the computer, and you can get it laid out perfectly. You have perfect lines, and everything looks clean. Even more clean than the work that you did before with a rule and a a compass and a triangle and a drafting board, and well sharpened pens and pencils, right? It's like, and then you moved, and then people moved beyond it, and so maybe we're just suffering through. Like, there's the beautiful. I loved, again, like 4 years ago, the mutant AI kind of stuff, the weird hybrid hallucinatory kind of stuff that was coming out. I love that, but then now we're getting to the point where it's just like, it's just duplicating and trying to recreate. And then at some point, somebody's going to start maybe undermining that.
We're just taking it to the next level. So like my mom, I was talking to my mom today about, she's like, how do they know how to do this with the AI? She'll ask it questions, and she calls it they. And so, she's just like, I don't understand it though, how there cannot be a person in there. and I was trying to explain. It's just like a Google search, right? You have no problem, like if you searched up dogs, right? Like it would give you like a bunch of pictures of dogs, right? I'm using like a ASD reference, right? An autism spectrum disorder reference. I'm sorry, squirrel. But and then I was like, do you remember diagramming sentences?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's, she's like, how can I, how is it giving me the answer to my question? Like what like, and then I was like, it's like a search. It's like a search to like a different power, right? It's like a search on steroids. So it's not just searching for dog, but it's searching for, like, so you diagram the sentence, like, what should I feed? What do dogs eat? So if you diagram the sentence, and she didn't remember diagramming sentences, but so you've got the word dog, so it's looking for dog, and then you've got the word eat, so it's looking for, like, first it has access to everything there is, all knowledge about dogs that's on the internet and on Reddit, right? And then it narrows it down to eat, to things that dogs eat. And then it narrows it down to what people have said, like, whether a dog should eat this or not, or whatever. Like, I'm trying to explain to her, so it's like a multiple, what I said, it was a multi-dimensional search.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of working its way towards resolution. It's like refining.
Yeah. But it's right. So, right. It's a multi. Yeah. But I mean, that's what I remember learning in my AI class in fucking 1986 when I was learning Scheme. So
it does seem like it's gone back to what were they called, master systems, like where, like, AI for a while, like what, for 40 or 50 years, right? It moved towards trying to kind of simulate thinking, but now it's going back to just kind of crunching
data
and
crunching
like
the data,
being a, what do they call it? Like, did they call them master system? Like, it was just like,
I can't remember.
like when they had it, they were building AI, like a doctor, like, or Eliza, right? Where it's just like, oh, I'm a thing that has a bunch of knowledge, and I'm going to be able to give you answers.
Yeah,
right. I'm gonna,
like, I call it brute force, but
it's kind of like brute force knowledge management.
It's
right?
like the difference between like having like having a map that's all pixels, or having a map that's created out of vectors and stuff. So like when I was doing VR, that 3D map, and I had all the land use like variable, or all the land use parameters like in pixels, but then I had to overlay the roads on top of it, and the roads were all like equations. Anyway, I think what you're saying is they're doing pixels now instead of the equations.
Yeah. But I mean, it's more complicated than
yeah.
that.
But meanwhile, okay, and I know it's all, but that's how I was trying to explain to my mom how it works, right? And that's not. Well, that is kind of generative. Oh, God, I could argue this forever. I just don't want to get shot. That's all. I don't want people to come and shoot me and say that I'm... Because then I say stuff like I'll be like, do you listen to hip-hop? Do you listen to any music that's made out of samples? Because you could argue that you didn't create those, you didn't record those instruments, and you can argue, no, it's me putting them together is the art. Well, then fine, me writing the prompt to put together like the theories and everything else that comes out of the AI, comes out of the internet. That's me compiling something. Me writing that prompt is the same as me copying and pasting the samples into this song. I don't see how it's different.
It's a little different.
How is it
right?
different?
It's an exponential change in resolution, just in the same way sampling was a jump from, I'm gonna play music like I'm gonna play guitar like Jimi Hendrix, and so I'm gonna imitate. Imitation, and then sampling is a higher level of imitation, I guess, right? And then AI is generative stuff is
It's the
another
same thing. Yeah,
exponential level
right.
of that. And so
Right.
the
Yeah.
question is is that just another thing? And so I guess the other thing is like, well, so for at least with creative work and art, it's like what's the purpose of it? So the purpose of it is not simply to sell people stuff, right? It's a form of communication,
Right.
right? It's a way for people to communicate. And so if you're talking about just consumption, then yeah, AI will just build it's McDonald's, right? It's making food that's engineered to be pleasurable.
Oh, this is good.
Right?
Yeah. AI
Whereas,
is McDonald's.
Yeah, like making a home-cooked meal or growing your own food and everything like that. It's a different thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's
right?
so good. That's a good
And so
you should market that.
If people need this kind of sustenance, and that's what I always talk about is like, oh, this is the lubricant of capitalism, the engine oil of capitalism is music, right? is like how many people are sitting working every day with headphones on, listening to something, right?
Yeah.
And in order to be able to survive capitalism, right? To survive the machine. Right, to be able to sit for 8 hours. But the thing is if you don't need that generated pablum, and not pablum, but like sustenance slurry, to keep you going.
Slop. I believe they call it slop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a job, you're not doing anything. Then I guess it's all gone. But then the question, then the deeper question is without that capitalist drive, that economic drive, what is the world going to be? We've built these systems, and that's the thing about reading the history of money. It's like, oh,
yeah, it's interesting.
These systems came about because, it's kind of like that's once you start building larger and larger kind of communities, you need some sort of method where it's like not everyone can be a farmer. Right? It's like some people need to do other things, I guess. But then the question is, well, why do they need to do other things? And so that's the thing. Is like, what if you've got AI doing all the work, then what is the purpose of the work? Right? Is the purpose of the work in order to maintain a society? And then the question is well, if the people aren't doing the work, then what is the societal? What are you doing to maintain society? Or what's needed to maintain society?
Or what do you want to do?
If it's just going to be the big five running the whole planet and having all of the wealth, right? And AI is serving that accumulation of wealth, that means that's what the society is. The society and the culture and our existence is not. The machine is not human existence and survival. It's the consolidation of wealth. And so, I guess then that's the apocalyptic thing. So, right, people talk about, general intelligence, artificial general intelligence. Oh, that's going to be end because the thing is going to, the AI is going to nuke us or destroy us or kill us. And it's no. What's going to kill us is the drive to accumulate wealth and resources and power, right? That's what's going to kill everybody because we're not going to have food.
Right.
We're not going to have any kind of system to feed ourselves.
Or we'll have McDonald's. I think
all of the stuff about data centers and using all this technology and it destroying the planet. It's like, I'm not going to be able to grow any food. I'm not going to have any water. I'm not going to be able to survive. It's going to kill us off. And so it's not even that the AI is going to kill us like directly. It's because this system
maintaining the AI is going to kill us.
These
actually that should be more worrisome.
These empires.
Right.
These
greed.
4 or 5
greed.
demigods
Right.
are basically reducing the planet, stripping the planet, and consolidating their power and resources. The thing is then what's the end point of that? It's like, is that the end point of humanity is to, or any kind of species, is to reduce down to be the one lone survivor? I don't think that's true. I mean, that's not.
No, I think
that's not the way.
I really think that you had it with the McDonald's. I think there's McDonald's everywhere. There's very few places on earth where there's not McDonald's, yet we don't eat at McDonald's all the time. We do sometimes, though. I mean, I take our kid there. I think you've really got it with the McDonald's. We're an hour and 10. So like I said, that wouldn't be resolved today. I was right about that. Really
I think I resolved it.
Yeah, I think you did with the McDonald's actually. So I should teach it then. At least I was told. Ironically, Rick said if AI was used for good, we could have paradise on Earth.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. And so so what always happens is you've got the utopian and the dystopian, right? And then we wind up in the middle. And so who was it who was writing all those books, or at least one book about the power of utopia? And utopia is not about actually achieving utopia. Utopia is about it's about aiming for that so that you get to the middle, right? So these utopian ideals and building utopian communities or having utopian goals, right? It's not about achieving utopia, and it's not, when you don't achieve utopia, it's a failure. It's that if you aim lower,
aim for the stars.
No, if you aim lower, you're going to wind up
in the crotch.
In shit. Yeah, the world's going to end.
You're going to kick
right?
the world
you're
in the
gonna
balls.
Have dystopia. So you do have to
aim high.
There is an evolutionary reason for utopian thinking.
Yeah, it's good. Reach for the stars.
Put that on my gravestone.
Mandalorian and Grogu. I'll go really fast. We saw 2 movies this week. In the space of 7 days. One of them was The Mandalorian Grogu. The other one was I Love Boosters. Which one do you want to talk about?
Obviously, this crazy talk I've evolved into is the I Love Boosters effect, right? It's like seeing radical cinema.
That
radical
movie was
70s cinema.
Yeah, that movie was so much better than what was the movie that won the Academy Award?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
One that won it this year.
Oh, yeah. The P.T. Anderson movie, One Battle After Another.
Yeah. That movie, I Love Boosters, was much better than One Battle After Another.
Yeah. So I was trying to. I was like, so I have a problem with anachronistic realism, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so One Battle After Another, I felt was anachronistic realism, whereas I Love Boosters. I mean, it definitely has some anachronism. It's kind of very like I'm trying to think of, I said like midnight movies and things like that, but it's also like Robert Downey Sr. movies or something like that, like Putney Swope, or those kind of late 60s, early 70s kind of hippie, sort of social commentary kind of. Yeah, where and it definitely had a connection to that, but I think it was talking about the monorail. I had a little bit of fantasy at the end, but I wouldn't put it under the anachronistic realism thing. It was not.
That was
real.
straight
It was
on. Yeah,
more,
yeah. You liked it.
I liked it. It was imperfect,
mm-hmm.
right? But it was inspiring in the same way like a midnight movie would be.
Nice. Okay. We don't really have to say anything about the Mandalorian and Grogu.
I mean, there was a point, and this has happened to me very rarely, but I was going to get up and walk out and just sit in the lobby and, look at my phone or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I
can't remember anything about the movie.
It's just kind of like the pointlessness of it.
Little Jabba the Hutt needed to be rescued or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. Emo Jabba. The Hutt.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're 15 minutes past our time, and
all right.
We've got a digits show to prepare for tomorrow. So, if you're in the area, you should come to Midwest. I was thinking, like, it'd be funny to do, like, a commercial, like, Midwest Punk Fest. Come out here to Bloomington, Normal, Illinois. Oi, 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 oi. Oi.
Well, Rick Digit kind of did that.
Did he? Oh, yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
probably why I was
little-
thinking about it.
little
Yeah.
ad
Yeah.
for the
yeah.
show.
Well,
All right.
who's ready to get high? That should be the name of it. We did all that without drugs.